So somebody asked me the other day if I'd ever swap my petrol car or the car that I would go for a Sunday drive in for an electric car, and my answer was that I don't think I would. I really like petrol cars, I really like sports cars. I love the internal combustion engine, and apart from getting from A to B, I can't really see the enjoyment in driving an electric car. It just does nothing for me. As I said before, this Citroen Ami is brilliant, and I think everybody should have one for commuting to and from work and round town. Ideal. But going for a Sunday ride, and the reason that somebody asked was, I do a TikTok video. I sell cars. We have a garage, and I sell cars. And I did on YouTube. You can't play music, but on TikTok you can. Only for a certain length of time. Otherwise, the soundtrack gets cut off. And in order to demonstrate what these cars like without me talking, I do a TikTok video with a soundtrack on it, or playing the music. And I did an F-Type the other day, and I mean, certainly from the last few videos I've done about the Ami, you'll think I'm a miserable sod. But when I was editing the video for this Jaguar F-Type, I looked at myself, and I had on what my girlfriend would call my Sorrento face. When we go to Italy, I'm a different person. Big smiles all the time. A few years ago, just after face recognition had come out on the iPhone, I got to Sorrento and I couldn't. It wouldn't switch on. And my girlfriend said, "No wonder it won't switch on. You're smiling." So that sort of gives you a clue as to who I am. But in this video, I'm listening to a track by David Cassidy and the Partridge Family, of all people, and looking at myself, I realised how much I was enjoying driving that car, how much I loved it, how much I loved changing gears at the right moment, matching the gears with the engine revs to make the engine howl or roar. Music or this soundtrack? Which do you prefer? I know which I prefer. Anyway, and I really loved it, and I do love driving. So today, in kind of an me and Mon Ami inspired video, the only thing different between, well, there's a couple of things different between me and Tim and Mr. Boo, but I haven't got a mate who'll be seen dead with me. So I like walking at Beacon Fell, and I like driving there. It's a nice country lane, and I just thought today I've come home in the Citroen, so today I thought I would just go up to Beacon Fell and see what it's like to drive an electric car like me and Mon Ami do. And you know, every credit to them. They can't drive a car, or they haven't got a driving license, but they can drive one of these. And just look at the fun and the places they've got to visit in this little car. And that's the kind of perspective I'm looking at. The chap the other day on his mobility scooter, you know, everybody comments saying, oh, it's only got 45-mile range, it only does 28 miles an hour. His mobility scooter only does 8 miles an hour, and it's not got a very big range. So he looked at this, and it all depends on your perspective. And again, you know, a bike. Sorry, I've I've got a bit of a microphone malfunction here. There you go, that's better. Yeah, so if you've only got a bike and you get one of these, it's like a Rolls Royce. Those two going for a picnic, they've got little rucksacks on. If it rains, they're knackered. Ooh, look at that. Oh dear, diverted traffic. I don't like the look of this. Why were they going that way if I can't? I'm coming back, I'm going back. Now this is where, of course, electric range anxiety comes into it. Diverted traffic, you can't go that way. Well, there you are. I'm going to have to overtake them again. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so I mean, you can get all your stuff in here. 2 people. There's quite a bit of room behind the seats, but there's also lots of room there. So it broadens your horizons. So far, nothing too dramatic's happened. The worst thing was I was behind a bunch of cyclists who were taking up all the road, a cycling club. If you're a cyclist, you may well think that they're entitled to, but I don't think they were being particularly courteous. If anything, they were being intimidating, crowding you. But, there we go. So also, another little update on the car as far as, you know, people in the comments keep saying, oh, I thought you were returning it. Well, first of all, I sent my rejection letter. Oh, no, first of all, I took it to Just Citroën and they looked to do a warranty claim on the door, which I don't particularly want the door changing, to be fair. I'm still waiting to hear from them what the decision is. And then I decided I was running out of time. The Citroën, the AMI contacts, I wrote to them within the month. They came back to me a week later to say that you have to reject it within 14 days, which I don't think is correct. And as I say, bearing in mind, I don't really want to reject it. I'm just covering myself in case there's anything drastic wrong. So I wrote back to them. Oh, sorry, and they said it was up 14 days, but they passed it on to another department. Now another week's gone by, and I've got a reply from that department to say that the department is suffering with COVID and they're self-isolating. No idea as and when they're going to reply to me or what's happening. So that's it. But in the meantime, I'm determined to enjoy it and use it. It cost me 8,895 quid. I think it's only fair that, and unless they tell me to stop using it, or unless they examine it and tell me that they're going to take it back, then I'll stop using it. But in between that, I've also, oops, sorry, I should have turned then. In between that, the good thing about this is, how about that for A 3-point turn. The Cross Keys Inn up here. So nice places around here as well. For a meal. For a drink if somebody else is driving. And yeah, so that's the situation. I'm not unduly worried about the vehicle, because at the end of the day I do know that if I want to get shitty about it, I think everybody knows that the door shouldn't have cracked, no matter what I'm doing with it, really, and I've not done anything stupid. I've not done anything like you see these other YouTubers doing, trying to go as fast as possible. I've never tried that. I've never done handbrake turns in it. You know, I've never tried to skid it anywhere. See, here, for argument's sake, this chap in front, and this cyclist coming. Have a lovely day. He's going up Beacon Fell on his mobility scooter. I think he would be more than happy to have one of these. And really kind of just proves my point. Oh gosh, I don't know what's going on here. Oh no. Oh no. I've picked the one day when it looks like
not used to bending down there. Yeah. It's the end of a 10k race. You can go through slowly. Just watch the runners are coming at you on the
okay.
bend. Okay.
I can't go fast.
It looks like it's groovy, isn't it?
It is. So right, so I can still go through.
So go through with that. They'll move that woman with the dog, but just slowly because they come at you in the middle.
Okay. Thank you very much. This couldn't be any worse. We've got a car coming. Thank you. I must get a different mirror. This mirror is too big. Watch these doggies. Oh, we're going right. I bet there's some of them that'd be glad of this right now. So I've got 27 mile left as well. It wasn't full when I set off. And I must admit, when I get in this, I can get in a petrol car or diesel car and it'll be blinking, and it doesn't worry me in the slightest. I know the worst thing that happened is, or the worst thing that could happen is, I run out of fuel, I have to walk to a petrol station, buy a fuel can, fill it up with fuel, and then go back to my car. Whereas this, I don't think there's any charging leads that are about 5 miles long to go home and plug it in. So I get in this and I've got full battery, 46 mile, and I've still got. I'm panicking already. Oh dear, Linus. Make sure nobody's cutting the corner. Rather difficult to turn round. Lovely part of the country. Doing well today so far. My GoPros haven't overheated. It's a bit misty, but I might actually stop and put my 360 camera on so that you can see. Here we go. Thank you. Beautiful house there. Just have to watch out for runners cutting the corners, which I'd be doing if I just run 10k. Be looking for the shortest route possible. Looks like we've got a little squirrel there. There's also around here where I like to come, there's a gliding club, and they've got a, blimey, what is it, 6.7 or might even be 7.2 engine that pulls the winch. Right, so one way, here we go. I'm going to stop and put my 360 on. I think there's a little pull in here, so I'll just stop here, jump out. It's a shame it's actually it's a bit cloudy today. Actually, I think I can see some paragliders up there, so we'll just do this, switch it on, and I'm going to take my shade blind off so I can see that this hasn't dropped off. So that's taping. Yep, that's taping. And here we go. This is Beacon Fell. As I say, you probably won't be able to see, but now I wish I'd have charged it up. Over there is they're just floating around. Well, this is Beacon Fell anyway. I can see 3 or 4 hang gliders or whatever they call them these days. It's a nice walk to the top. You can park. You can park in any of these car parks. There's a visitor centre, but just look at the scenery. I have to be careful I don't end up going over the side. England is supposed to be getting a bit of a heat wave shortly, and to be fair, around here, when it's going to be nice in the afternoon, it usually looks a little bit like this, and then the sun just burns the cloud away. But going back to coming up here in a petrol car, I used to do it a lot when I was younger, especially at night, when I thought I was a rally driver, with my Cibi 10DEs on the front of my Opel Ascona, and a couple of KC Daylighters too, with a 4-mile pencil beam. But equally, you'd often see other people who were doing silly things like that as well, and they'd be in a ditch. So I don't want to do that today. There we go. It's a great place to come and picnic. I haven't got any kind of Mr. Boo facts. So I perhaps should have studied the place beforehand. But I've got to say, you know, it is quite enjoyable in this vehicle, and you've got more space. I've also noticed it. I've done 495 miles now, and I have noticed it does seem to be getting a little bit freer when you're accelerating and so on. It feels, it just feels like it's loosening up a bit. And quite a few people complain that when you get to 28 there's a surging on the vehicle, but just let your foot off a little bit. If you let your foot off a little bit, you just maintain the same. If you just take it to 27 mile an hour, it's no great shakes losing 1 mile an hour, and you don't get that sort of thing. It's a nice smooth drive. Not sure what the hold up is here. Well, that's one thing I notice sometimes when you're reversing or when you're just going slow, it kind of starts doing the samba and like backwards and forwards, and makes this clunking noise. I'm struggling here because I can't give them a yard, can I? Even in this, I can't give them a yard. Oh, well, he's had a malfunction there. He's stopped now, so his pump's come off. If you've ever seen Monty Python, I think it was Michael Palin, and he was going around Europe on his bike, and in his diary it kept saying pump caught in trouser leg, fell off. You've seen it here first. So this is the visitor centre, as you can see. I'm not going to stop for a coffee and a bacon sandwich, but you can see it's a great place to come. If you're round here, see that'd be a great place for me to take my photos, my videos. But you can never tell how many people are already going to be here when you get here. But I might try that in future rather than going all the way up to Wyresdale. Big pothole. No vehicles after 10 p.m. Spoiled sports. It's a 22-mile range. Like ramblers. Don't know what they were picking there. If anybody knows, the flowers were yellow. So I'm going to head for home here now. It's a nice day out. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of it. Although I'd really like to go and see the flipping. It'll be too cloudy for them to glide today, I think. Hey Siri, navigate to home.
Starting route to Blackburn Road. Head northwest on North Nook Lane, then turn left onto Oakenclough Road. Turn left onto Oakenclough Road.
All in all, it's been a pleasant drive.
Turn left onto Bleasdale Road. In 1.2 miles, turn left onto Button Street.
That place there, I actually looked at buying that about 20 years ago when it was just I think it was just a piggery then, or a pig shed.
In 1 mile, turn left onto Button Street.
So anyway, it does bring a smile to your face still. I think now I need a coffee. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.